In this video, we're going to be installing an American Modified Armor Grille. What's up everyone, and how's it going? On today's video, we're going to be doing something that I honestly didn't think I'd ever be doing on my 2019 Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. What we're going to be doing is installing an angry style grille. For those who are unfamiliar about what an angry style grille is, basically it is an aftermarket grille that features a slanted headlight opening that gives the grille an aggressive and angry look. These styles of grills are actually a little bit of a controversial topic in the Jeep community because in the community, there are a bunch of people that love these grills and install them on every Jeep they own. And then there are also a bunch of people out there that hate these grills and truly think they should not exist. In fact, last year in the middle of summer, there was actually a trend of videos getting posted on social where people were taking these angry eye grills and simply destroying them to make a statement that they should not be allowed to be installed on Jeeps. Though these videos were very entertaining and very creative, personally, I don't really agree with the message. And there's two reasons why I don't agree. First, not every angry eye grill is that ugly. On certain builds, angry eye grills look really good and they really help bring the entire design of the Jeep together. Second reason is because honestly, I don't think we should be judging people based on what they want to add on the Jeep. If somebody wants to install an angry eye on a grill and you're somebody who doesn't like it, you should not be judging them just because they want to add it. We have to remember, guys, Jeeps are a vehicle that can be easily customized. And one of the things that everybody's doing in the Jeep market is pretty much customizing them to match their personality. And if they feel an angry eye grill is what they want, let them go ahead and do that. In fact, guys, I personally am not a fan of angry eye grills on my Jeep. Again, I like them on other people's Jeeps, but on my Jeep, I'm more of a purist and I really like the traditional 7-slot grill with the full round headlights. That's just my personal preference and it's the main reason I don't have an angry eye grill already on the Jeep. So you might be wondering, well, if I'm more of a purist when it comes to my own Jeep, why am I installing this American Modified Armor Grille? Well, the reason is because this grill was actually not intended for my Jeep. This was actually intended for a buddy of mine's 2019, I believe, Jeep Wrangler Sport that he actually ended up picking up in November. His plan for that Jeep was actually to ship it down to the DR. But before he was going to ship it down, he actually reached out to me and asked me if I could do a little modifications to it. And surprisingly, one of the modifications that he wanted to do, and the main one, was actually to add an angry eye grill. So it kind of shows you that there are people out there that the first thing they want to do is pick up one of these grills and give their Jeep that aggressive look. It just kind of points it out. So when he told me he wanted to pick up one of these grills, I said to him, well, let me reach out to American Modified. American Modified had reached out to me a couple times asking me to review one of their grills, but unfortunately because their styling is not what I like on my Jeep, I never went ahead and did it. So I said, let's reach out to them, see if they have any new grills available, and if they do, they'll probably end up sending it to us in exchange for us creating content using his Jeep. So he ended up picking out the armor grill that you see right here. We ended up getting it shipped to us, but unfortunately, because it was getting shipped over the holidays, there were some delays that occurred in shipping, and unfortunately, it did not arrive before his Jeep got shipped down to the DR, which meant I no longer had access to his vehicle to make the video. So what I ended up doing was simply sitting on this grill for a few months now for a couple of reasons. First, after the holidays, it was January and February, and this year, January and February in New York were extremely cold and windy, and it was kind of difficult for me to get outside to change the Jeep or to change the grill on the Jeep. Second reason was because, as I've mentioned, I'm not a super fan of these grills or this grill, so I wasn't really in a rush to put it on my Jeep. The third reason is with my Jeep, even if I was going to install this, on my Jeep, I have the aftermarket rival front bumper and a winch. And to remove my grille, I actually have to disassemble some of the bumper so that I can get the grille on and off. So because it was cold, I was not super fan of the grille, and it was going to take me a little longer than I needed. I actually was just simply trying to find someone else that was interested in this grille and would let me use their vehicle. Unfortunately, as you can see, I'm installing this on my Jeep today because I was not able to find anybody who was interested in this grille. I did find a few JK people, but unfortunately, this grille is only designed to work on the JLs and the JTs, and it won't work on a JK. So because I made a commitment to American Modified, what I am going to be doing today is installing this on my Jeep so that I can show you guys the steps to install it and then show you guys how it looks on a Jeep Wrangler. But before we get into that, let's simply talk about the grille a little bit. So this grille goes for $230 or $229.99. Of course, guys, I'll put a link below if you want to check it out for yourself. This grille actually comes in 3 different finishes that you can choose from. You can either get a matte black finish, a gloss black finish like the one right here, or you can actually get it in a gloss and white black finish, where I believe it's something like these openings are white and the center's black. Also, one thing I got to mention about this grille is this grille not only has the appearance of an angry eye grille, but it also has some functionality built into it. The functionality it has built into it is this LED light bar that's right in the middle. And what's really cool about this LED light bar, when you are purchasing this, you actually get 2 options to choose from. You can choose whether you want it to be an amber running light or whether you want to go with a white off-road light. The grille we're going to be installing today, as you can see, is the gloss black finish. The reason we went the gloss black finish is because his Jeep was actually gloss black, and the light we ended up going ahead with was the white off-road light. So at the end of this video, we're also going to take a look at this light to see how it performs and see how the light pattern is as well. So now that you know what this grille is all about and what we're going to be doing in today's video, it's time for us to jump right into the installation. And the first thing I'm going to have to go ahead and do is get my stock grille off, which will mean dismantling some of the bumper.
Yeah. Shawty loves it, loves that I'm a dog. They don't want it, they scared of what I know. Told you the budget, I gotta get my own. Shout out my bros, this right here deserves a toast, A lot of people back home on my back and they know. Trying to get on my line, cause the people I know. Manifest this here, 7+ on the ropes. They ain't doing this shit, tripping over my flows. I'm on the way, tell them I don't play. I'm on the move, trying to get my pay. I might just move on and watch and pray. I'm on the way, I'm on my way. Manifest this here, 7+ on the ropes. They ain't doing this shit, tripping over my flows.
As you can see, guys, we have the factory grille removed. Overall, wasn't that bad. The extra steps I had to do were simply removing the skid plate from the underside of the rival bumper. Once I had that removed, all I then did was simply reached up under and undid the mounts that hold the winch in place. Once the winch was free, what I could do is simply shift it over and back, which gave me enough room to be able to pop the grille off. Moving the grille is super easy, and honestly, anyone can do it. All you have to do is pop your hood, undo the push pins across the top edge of the grille, then simply pop the grille off. Really easy to do. And if anybody is looking to change the lights at this time, that would also be a great time. So now that we've got the grille on, the next part is to assemble the new grille so that we can get it installed. So there is a little bit of assembly. So first the grille comes This is the back side of the grill. You see you have your light bar here. You can see here, there's no mounting locations. There's usually a tab here. So that's something we're going to have to install. But before I get into that, I do want to mention something about this grill. So this grill is actually designed to work with both non-front facing camera Jeeps and front facing cameras. If you have a front facing camera, all you're going to simply do is come in here and you're going to undo these two pieces, and it's going to remove this little tab here. That is going to be where your camera is going to go, and they actually provide you with brackets to hold the factory camera. I don't have a factory camera, so this is something I'm not going to be showing. But if you were to install a factory camera, what you would have to do is remove the factory camera from your stock one, then put it into the bracket, which I believe is just going to simply sandwich it together. And then you're going to attach this to the grill. So again, we're not going to need that for this installation. So what we're going to have to do, our assembly, is we're going to have to tap these two mounting tabs. So these are designed to go on both sides of the grill. So one is just going to simply slide on here, and what we're going to do is screw it down with the provided hardware. So let's go ahead and install both of these on both sides, and then we'll show you guys the next step.
Yeah. Shawty loves it, yeah. Loves that I'm a dog. They don't want it, yeah. They scared of what I know. Told you the budget, yeah. I gotta get my own. Shout out my bros, this right here deserves a toast, yeah. A lot of people back home on my back and they know. Trying to get on my line, cause the people I know. Manifest this year, 7+ on the ropes. They ain't doing this shit, tripping over my flows. I'm on the way, tell them I don't play. Yeah, I'm on the move, trying to get my pay. I might just move on and watch and pray. Yeah, I'm on the way, I'm on my way. Yeah. Manifest this year, 7+ on the ropes. They ain't doing this shit, tripping over my flows. Yeah. Yeah, loves that I'm a goat. Yeah. Shawty loves it, yeah. Loves that I'm a goat. They don't want it, yeah. They scared of what I know. Told you the budget, yeah. I gotta get my own. Shout out my bros, this right here deserves a toast, yeah. A lot of people back home on my back and they know. Trying to get on my line, cause the people I know. Manifest this year, 7+ on the ropes. They ain't doing this shit, tripping over my flows. Yeah. I'm on the way, tell them I don't play. Yeah, I'm on the move, trying to get my pay. I might just move on and watch and pray. Yeah, I'm on the way, I'm on my way. Yeah. Manifest this year, 7+ on the ropes. They ain't doing this shit, tripping over my flows. Yeah. Yeah, loves that I'm a goat. Yeah.
So we've got the grill installed. Overall installation was a piece of cake, and honestly, anybody could do this installation at home. All you have to do is pop off the grill, do some simple assembly on the new grill to put together the tabs. Once you've got that done, you're simply going to slap it on the Jeep, push all the push connections in, and then wire it up. One thing about the wiring is that for the white off-road lights that I'm running right here, you will need to put it on a switch. this grill does not come with a switch. What I did is I simply wired up to my XK command switch panel. So I usually did that. But if you don't have a switch panel, you will have to go ahead and purchase a switch that you can go ahead and install inside your vehicle so that you have the ability to turn it on and off when you want to. If you don't go ahead and buy the white off-road version and you end up going with the amber running light, what you could do instead of running it to a switch is you can actually go ahead and tap that into your running lights so that when your running lights turn on, the amber bar will also be showing. So few options there. Again, overall installation piece of cake. I did it off camera, but I did go ahead and put my bumper back together. So I mounted my winch back in its location and reinstalled the skid plate under the bumper. What I want to do now, guys, with you guys is I want to go ahead and switch this camera around so that we can take a look at the grill together. Now that we can see the grill on the Jeep, I have to say it is not that bad. It's still not my cup of tea. It's definitely something I wouldn't have gone ahead and purchased, but I could definitely see why people would be interested in this grill. It definitely has some nice sharp edges to it, which really create an aggressive look and really does make the Jeep look a lot meaner. I am going to go into some details about some of the things I like about this and some of the things I dislike. Also going to point out a few flaws about it. But before I do that, I do want to remind you guys that this grill was never intended to go on the Harlequin. And one thing about that is the gloss finish. If I had been purchasing this for the Harlequin because I liked the design, I actually would have gone ahead and purchased the matte black finish because it would have tied better to the satin black panel section that I have on the hood, as well as the bumper. With the gloss black, I feel like it's kind of just fighting everything. It's, two different finishes. It's just not working that well. But again, this grill was intended to go on a gloss black Jeep, and I have a feeling if we had installed on that, it would have looked super clean. It would have tied in really nice, and it all would have looked very integrative while giving that Jeep a really mean front end. So while we're talking about paint, let's kind of lead into the first thing or concern I have about the paint. Overall, the paint finish is not that bad. There's no imperfections. I didn't notice any dirt, hair, bleeds, or anything. But what I did notice, and it occurred mostly on the flat panels at the front here, and you're going to see it right above the light bar, is there's a little bit of waving that occurs. And I'm not sure if this is in the paint or if this is simply just something that's occurring in the plastic and the gloss finish is just making it pop when the light hits it. Overall, it's not something, that you can't live with, but it is there. For anybody who's particular about paint finishes, if you are thinking about buying the gloss black one, most likely those ripples are going to be there. So I would suggest if you are particular about paint finish, that you actually go ahead and get the matte black one because those imperfections probably won't be as visible. And if you're somebody who's going to paint it, you can paint the matte black one. And if you get it done locally, they actually might be able to smooth that out a little better so that's not as obvious. But with that aside, you do have to remember that this grill, painted in gloss black, is only $230, which isn't a bad price for what you're getting. So if you had a gloss black Jeep and you don't want to go through the hassle of painting the grill, you can easily pick this up for a really good price. The next thing I want to talk about has to do with the fit of the grill. Overall, the grill fits into the Jeep really nice, and there's no real complaints, but there are a few minor things that I'm going to show you that once you see it, you'll see the issue. The first one has to do with the alignment of the hood to the outside trim panel. You can see for some reason the hood has a giant gap around this edge and it just doesn't really line up nice. It's not that big of a detail, but it is something you notice. And then when you carry across the top here, you actually notice how tight the hood is. Unlike the factory one, there's actually a gap. This one is pretty much resting on it, which in my opinion actually looks really nice. But where it becomes messy is because it's touching there, but then not touching on the side. So you just get two extremes. You get a giant gap and then no gap. One thing I also mentioned about the fit is that when we were installing it, we did have to somewhat push the grill onto the Jeep to secure the push pins. This just showed that there's something slightly wrong with the fit. It's not perfect. it's still usable. You can still get it on, but it is definitely still under a little bit of pressure. So little small things about the fit, but it, again, still does work. The next thing I want to talk about is the design language. So there's some things I like about this, and the first one has to do with this X design. I'm going to call it an X design, but the way that this comes down and the way it comes up and then the way it goes across. What I really like about this, and mainly due to the fact of my bumper, is that the rival bumper and the grille pretty much have the same lines going on. So it just kind of amplifies everything. So I really do like that. So if you have a similar style bumper, this might be a really good solution to go with. Couple things I don't like about the grille design is these little tabs here. I don't like the shapes of them. Would have rather those just been straight. Also don't like how they put the light bar in the dead center. Would have rather it been put up higher for a couple reasons. First, most bumpers are going to have bars or winches, and this light is just above that. And if you have a bigger bar, it's definitely going to be blocking that. So I would have rather see them put it up higher, because then it would have been out of the way. Also, the reason I would like to do that is because here you can see the pumps here, or the, not pumps, but the horns. So you have one on each side on my Jeep. I would have rather those been hidden. So I would have rather this been up here, and then the slots be a lot longer on the bottom. Also think that would have tied a little bit better with the factory look, because you would have had 7 slots without, you know, copying Jeep. So it would have been a little bit of aggressive look by also still being factory. Also, what they could have done here on the bottom is they could have designed it a little bit better. Again, guys, this is just my personal preferences. Overall, you know, the design of this is pretty cool. It has aggressive, sharp look. The headlight openings aren't super slanted, so they're not stupid extreme, which is good because it doesn't affect the visibility of the light. So with this style, with the way they've got it, they're giving you an aggressive look while also giving you the ability to have your lights perform properly. Again, it's your personal preference on this. Some people might like this and some people are not going to like it. The last thing I want to talk about, which I'm not going to judge too much because at this point I have not seen it, has to do with the light. So the light is simple to wire up. Just put it on a switch, and in the day, the white light seems to be bright enough. It's definitely showing through. It's slightly a different color than the rest of my lights, but that might not be a problem for certain people. But for me, it would definitely be something I'd be looking at. I haven't seen this at night, but I'm going to show you here at night how it performs, and you can kind of make your own judgment. Again, I don't want to judge it. So light out performance at night, I'm sure they're going to be bright enough to perform and also give you a little bit of illumination. I'm not sure if they're going to be like a Baja Designs light, but they will probably put a little bit out front. Well, guys, at this time, I don't really have much more to say about this grille. Overall, it's not a bad product. Again, I did point out a few little things, but none of those things are major, and none of those things would be a reason not to buy it. Again, guys, I am not a super fan of this look, so most likely in the next day or two, I will be removing this grille. But for those who are interested in Angry Eye grills, this grille is definitely one you should check out. Not only is it going to give you that aggressive look for the front of your Jeep, but it also has some built-in lighting options that you can add to the front of your vehicle. If you are interested in purchasing this grille, I will put the links below that you can click on. And also, because I've worked with American Modified before, I also have a discount code, which is Evolved Jeeping. And if you use that code when checking out, you can actually save yourself 12% on your order. So if you're buying this grille, you can actually get it at a cheaper price than $230. Again, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you got a good understanding of what this grille can look like on your Jeep. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them below. As usual, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Keep evolving, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
Yeah, shawty loves it, yeah, loves that I'm a goat. Yeah.